Hello and assalamu alaikum. My name is Adan Iqbal. I welcome all of you. And in this video, we are going to talk about an experiment from the physiology lab, which is to determine the hemoglobin concentration of your blood by the Saheli's hemoglobin meter. So before we talk about an experiment, first we discuss what is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, which is also being written as the HB, is a protein molecule which is found in the red blood cells, and the red blood cells are also known as the erythrocytes, and the function of the hemoglobin is to transport the oxygen in our body. Now, normally we have three different types of the hemoglobin. One is known as hemoglobin A, the other one is known as the hemoglobin A2, and the third one is known as the hemoglobin F. Hemoglobin A, which is 97% of the hemoglobin which is found in our body in adults, because hemoglobin A is A for adult, so HbA is found in the adults. The other one is the hemoglobin A2, which is also found in our body, which is only 3%. And the hemoglobin F, the hemoglobin which is only present in the fetus, this hemoglobin is absent in the adults. Now if we talk about the structure of the hemoglobin, hemoglobin is made up of from the pyrrole ring. This is the structure of the pyrrole ring. Now these four pyrrole rings join to each other and make the porphyrin or protoporphyrin. Now iron is being placed at the center or the heart of the porphyrin, and the structure which form is the heme. Now to the heme, a globin chain, which is a protein chain which is made up of the amino acid, is being attached, and we form the hemoglobin. Heme plus globin makes the hemoglobin monomer. So now we get the hemoglobin monomer, and in order to make the hemoglobin molecule, in order to make the one hemoglobin molecule, you need four hemoglobin monomers, because hemoglobin molecule is a tetramer. So you need four hemoglobin monomers to make one hemoglobin molecule. So these are the four hemoglobin monomers which make one hemoglobin molecule. Now you can see that the hemoglobin molecule contain four iron, and the iron is the area at which the oxygen binds. So it means that one hemoglobin molecule carries four oxygen molecules, and this hemoglobin molecule is made up of two alpha globin chains and two beta globin chain. So the hemoglobin which is made up of two alpha globin chain and two beta chain, that hemoglobin is known as the hemoglobin A, which is made up of two alpha and the two beta globin chain, and which is a 97% of hemoglobin which is found in our body. Now if we replace the beta chain and put the delta chain, now the hemoglobin which we get is the hemoglobin A2, which is a 3% of hemoglobin found in our body. And if we replace the beta and put the gamma, then the hemoglobin which we get is the hemoglobin F, which is found only in the fetus. So the alpha chains will be there, only the beta chain is replaced by the delta or the gamma chains. So far what we have discussed about that, the hemoglobin is a large molecule which is made up of the proteins and the iron. Now one thing to tell you is that the iron which is found in the hemoglobin molecule is in the ferrous form, not in the ferric form. So for example, if the iron is being in the ferric form instead of the ferrous form, then that is the abnormality, and the condition in which the ferrous is being replaced and the ferric is being there, that hemoglobin is known as the methemoglobin. And the ferric is not a good binder to the oxygen, so that hemoglobin is a waste. So in the methemoglobin, the oxygen can't bind to the hemoglobin, and the oxygen can't be transported across our body. So the person become deficient in oxygen and develop the hypoxia. So the methemoglobin is a wastage of the hemoglobin. So the iron, normally in the hemoglobin, the iron which is found in the ferrous form. And one term, I think hopefully you all are familiar with, is the thalassemia. You know what is thalassemia? Thalassemia is the defect in these globin chain. whether these chains are being not properly made or they are being deficient in the amino acids. So due to the defect in these globin chains, the condition which we get is a thalassemia. So if there being is a defect in the alpha globin chain, then the thalassemia is known as the alpha thalassemia, or if there is being a defect in the beta globin chain, then the thalassemia is known as the beta thalassemia. So what we have discussed it that the hemoglobin consists of the four folded chains of the protein called the globin, designated as the alpha 1, alpha 2, and the beta 1 and the beta 2. Each of these globin molecule is bound to the red pigment molecule called the heme. Molecules with more oxygen bound to the heme groups are brighter red. As a result, oxygenated arterial blood where the hemoglobin is carrying four oxygen molecule is bright red, while the venous blood that is deoxygenated is darker red. So if the hemoglobin is carrying the oxygen, that will show the bright red color to the blood, and if there is no oxygen to the hemoglobin or less amount of oxygen to the hemoglobin, then that gives the darker red color to the blood. And you know that the a single RBC contained about 300 million of the hemoglobin. So you are millionaire as far as the hemoglobin are concerned. And you know that one hemoglobin molecule can carry four oxygen molecules. So it means that one RBC can transport approximately 1.2 billion of oxygen molecules across our body. So the normal range for the hemoglobin is different from the man and different for the woman. For men, the normal range is approximately 13.5 to 17.5 grams per deciliter, and for women, the range is slightly lower as compared to the men, which is 12 to 15.5 grams per deciliter. So what are the indication in which we want to know about the hemoglobin concentration in our body? Uh, to determine the presence and the severity of anemia. Anemia is the deficiency in the hemoglobin. So if you want to find out the presence or the severity of the anemia, you have to count the number of the hemoglobin in your body. Then you have to, if you have to screen for the polycythemia. Polycythemia is the increase in the number of the hemoglobin. So if the number of the if the amount of the hemoglobin in our body is more than 20 grams per deciliter, then the condition is known as the polycythemia. So if you have to screen for the polycythemia, then definitely you want to know the amount of the hemoglobin in your body. So for the anemia or the polycythemia, you have to know the amount of the hemoglobin. So for finding the amount of the hemoglobin, you have to do the hemoglobin test. Then to access the response to the specific therapy in the anemia, for example, if your hemoglobin count is low and you are taking the iron or the vitamin B12 for the, the correction of the anemia, then you have to check the response of your drugs whether these vitamin B12 or the iron are being working properly or they are increasing your hemoglobin count or not. So in order to find out the response of the drug to correct the anemia, you have to know the amount of the hemoglobin. And for example, and then you have to, if you have to select the blood donor, you have to know the amount whether the person has a sufficient amount of hemoglobin in his body or he is in the position to donate the blood or not. So for the selection of the blood donor, you have to know the amount of the hemoglobin. So for the experiment, you need the stirrer, the hemoglobin pipette, Saheli's graduated hemoglobin tube, and comparator with a brown glass standard. In the Saheli's graduated hemoglobin tube, the blood is being taken, and you will also add the hydrochloric acid in that blood. And this graduated hemoglobin tube is being marked in grams from 2 to 24, and also in the percentage from 20 to 160. Then the color of the blood is being compared with the comparator, which is also having the brown glass standard. And when you prick the finger, the blood is being sucked in the Saheli's pipette or the hemoglobin pipette up to the mark of 20 microliter. Then there is a stirrer for the mixing purpose, which is a thin glass rod. Now the principle of the experiment is that you have to react the blood with the hydrochloric acid so that the hemoglobin could be converted into the acid hemoglobin. Then that acid hemoglobin will show you the color. That color will then be compared with the comparator which is having the brown glass. So the color of the blood will be compared with the brown glass, and when the color matches, that will show you the reading of the hemoglobin which you have in your body. The procedure of the experiment is you have to add 8 to 10 drops of 0.1 normal hydrochloric acid into the hemoglobin tube. Clean and sterilize the fingertip and prick with the lancet. Fill the pipette up to the mark of 20 microliter. Make sure that no air bubble enter into the pipette. If it enters, discard and pipette again. Add the blood into the tube containing the hydrochloric acid. Allow to stand undisturbed for 10 minutes. You don't have to, after adding the blood and the hydrochloric acid into the hemoglobin tube, you don't have to disturb the hemoglobin tube, because if you have to allow the proper mixing so that the proper color should occur. Place the hemoglobinometer tube in the comparator and add distilled water to the solution drop by drop. Stir the glass rod till the color matches with that of the comparator glass, and the reading of the solution should be noted in the grams. Advantages of estimating the hemoglobin by the Sally's hemoglobinometer is that this is a cheap test and you do not need any technical expertise to perform this test, because you would only need to know how to compare the color of the blood with the comparator, so no technical expertise is needed. The disadvantage is that the 95% color of the acid hemoglobin is formed in 10 minutes. So the color of the acid hemoglobin fades with the time, and it is difficult to match perfectly with the glass comparator. Acid hemoglobin solution is also not stable, and the color formation is also slow. Source of light can influence the color comparison, and the color of the brown glass of the comparator also fades with the time, and the individual variation in matching the color can also occur. So the major disadvantage of the experiment is comes when you have to compare the color of the blood with the comparator.